Good morning from this beautiful neighborhood of Switzerland. And yes, this is our fresh new day in Switzerland. So, this is around 7 past in the morning, and here you can see the beauty of the land with the morning dew. It was really refreshing walking around the premises of the apartment. As you can see, it's a calm neighborhood and well maintained houses with gardens, everything with a Swiss vibe. We had reached here the previous day, and this is the apartment and the locality where we will be staying for the next few days of this trip. As of now, it was a cool and pleasant morning, but with all chances of a rain for the day. After a walk, we made a coffee and enjoyed for a while the natural beauty and the serenity of this place. If you would like to know more about this place and the apartment, then please do check our previous vlog, that is our first day tour in Switzerland, in which you can find the details and a room tour as well. It was around 9 a.m. when we left the room. We, of course, had some plans for the day. Some of the plannings were made back from home so that the trip is well equipped and with a lot of memories. Driving past our neighborhood roads, we came to the center of the town, which is known as the Waldhusen, and this place is very near to our apartment. Now, Waldhusen is a small town belonging to the canton of Lucerne. It is actually a rural setting with most residential areas surrounded with beautiful landscapes, rolling hills, and the amazing part is you can see a lot of agricultural plots as well. And it's said to be a very calm, quiet, and relaxing place, the best suited for a trip and a holiday. Soon, we crossed the township and began driving along the Swiss roads with the lush green landscapes around. So, take a look at how the drive in Switzerland was like and exploring the countryside and enjoying the nature. Now, as you know, we began the drive from Waldhosen, which lies east of the canton of Lucerne, and we are traveling towards Mount Titlis, which is located near the town of Engelberg, and that is to the south of Lucerne. And yes, our first plan for today was to travel to the famous Mount Titlis, which is in fact one of the most popular mountains in Switzerland. And this very name of the mountain is familiar to us right from childhood, and we also have seen it in a lot of movies as well. We were in fact very happy that we chose to drive in Switzerland. As you see, driving here is very relaxing, and to a great extent, it's really safe as well. Probably because there are less vehicles on the road, and also maybe due to the strict rules, safe and slow driving is much taken care of by everyone on the road. And this for us was a huge change. Unlike the roads in our hometown, these roads are literally with no traffic and very clean and beautiful. As we were nearing to the town of Engelberg, we saw a train passing by. I think this is probably from the Engelberg station and is going towards the city side. And then soon came the first exit we took towards Engelberg. And very soon after the exit, we could see far away the snow-covered mountains. This made us much excited for the trip. And of course, we were looking forward to climb to one of those mountains there. So that was like how we enjoyed the drive all the way to Mount Titlis. And here for you are some glimpses of the beauty of nature from Switzerland. The normal travel time is said to be less than 1.5 hours. But I think we are going to take slightly more than that because we are, of course, driving very slow and also enjoying the countryside and the landscapes. This was, of course, our first impression of Switzerland, and I'm sure I'm in love with Switzerland, and I hope you too will start loving Switzerland. And I feel it's the prettiest place I have ever seen or been to. So, driving along the roads of Engelberg, this is what we got to see. On either sides of the road, you can see many farmhouses and a lot of farm animals like cattle or sheep gazing in the fields nearby. Another curious thing was the smoke rising from the housetops. If you closely watch, you can see the smoke rising from the housetops. These were something which we had seen only in the movies, and to watch it live was very nice. So, here's for you a frame to enjoy with us the natural beauty of Switzerland. Though, in fact, Switzerland is well connected with an established transport system and is said to be very reliable for tourists and visitors. But we chose to drive and tour Switzerland for this time. This was probably because we thought we could explore more and more places without any time barrier, which I think is actually not possible if you may be relying on the transport system. Driving along, we could also feel the pressure rising as we were now about 1000 meters above the sea level and still gonna increase along the way. We could feel getting closer and closer to the snow mountains, and we were getting more and more excited as this was the first time ever going to witness natural snow so close by. The typical pine trees with the colorful leaves are the best part of the attractions. The life here seemed very pure with the fresh air, and everything seemed to be in sync with the nature. In fact, this is going to be our first full day road trip in Switzerland, exploring the beauty of this country. Though actually, we had reached Switzerland the previous day and had some time driving in and around Zurich and visiting places like the Lindt Home of Chocolate. Now, if you're interested to check out our tour in the Lindt Home of Chocolate, then there's a link for you in the description. Watch the video and let us know how you like it. Switzerland is well known for the transport system and the road infrastructure. That one thing which is very helpful here are the signboards and the road directions, which are very precise and helpful for anyone who may be driving in this road for the very first time. And that makes the road life here very easy and simple. Engelberg is well known for the stunning alpine scenery and, of course, a year round destination for activities like trekking to the mountain tops like the Mount Titlis or Jog Pass, and even the Mount Regis is accessible from here. As I said in the morning, this day was going to be a rainy day, and along the drive, it began pouring. And even though it was not that heavy, but sadly that continued till we reached our first destination for the day. We also had some plans to stop in between and enjoy the nature and the landscapes, but the rains in between shattered our hopes. So, after a beautiful drive of about 1.5 hours, we have reached the Engelberg Valley. Now, it's from here we have to take the cable cars to Mount Titlis. I don't know how it's gonna be, but was really excited for it. And in fact, there are many parking garages available here at walkable distance from the information center. We got a good parking here just in front of the information center, and from here we could see the cable cars going up and down. This place is very accessible and is well connected by rail and road. We could see a lot of tourist bus and private vehicles. As I said, the tour to Mount Titlis begins from here. We had already done a booking online, And so it was quite fast to just collect the physical pass, and then we could easily start the tour to Mount Titlis. Booking tours to this Mount Titlis is very easy and can be done online or in person when you reach here. Of course, there are various types of tickets available. You can get all the details from the website or hear from the information center as well. Usually, it's free for children under 6, and there are some discounts for the elderly. By scanning the tickets, we could directly mount the first cable car. We waited for our turn and got on one of the empty cable cars. Each of the cable cars can carry about 4 to 6 persons at a time. So if you're in groups or families, you can also go together. And very soon, it began to catch up speed. Leaving behind the valley and the town below, this is how we ascended up to Mount Titlis. The landscapes and the look of nature could be seen changing from pasture lands to tall pine trees, and then to green meadow, and then to snowbeds with some trees, and then ultimately to the snow-capped mountains. And this was really an amazing view. So take a look at the beauty and enjoy with us. And initially, of course, the whole view around and the speed of the car will sometimes initiate a feeling of dizziness, and especially if you are scared of heights. But I'm sure it's gonna fade away in few minutes and you will start enjoying the ride. In about 10 minutes, we reached first stop at Troop C. Now, you can also stop here or directly carry on forward in the same cable car to the next stop. But we thought to stop here and spend some time experiencing snow for the first time so close by. And this is how the surroundings looked here, with snow and snow everywhere. And here, Troop C is well known for many snow activities like hiking, trails, ice skating, and the like. But an important thing to consider before coming here is to check in the official website of Mount Titlis and see for any updates or change in times. Though mostly it's from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. But sometimes, due to the climate and weather patterns, there can be some changes or maybe some cancellations in severe weather conditions. So, to be on the safer side, it's good to check and confirm before you start the travel. Just like today, due to the bad weather and the rains, the tour to the Mount Titlis on the cable cars has started a little late after 9:30 a.m. Spending some time here, we then moved ahead towards Mount Titlis. From Trupsi, we took the second cable car towards Mount Titlis. Soon we took off, and again we are out in the air. In this ride, we got to see more and more snow covered mountains everywhere, and very little trees or shrubs could be seen. Rather, it was snow and snow everywhere. Side by side, you can also see many other cable cars going in the opposite direction, and that was also fun to watch. Then why not take a look at this view and share with us any of your experiences if you had similar rides. I think that too will be lovable to hear. Again, after a ride of about 10 minutes, we reached an intermediate stop known as the Stand 2428, which is again on the way to Mount Titlis. Now, Titlis if you know, is also known for the Titlis Rotair, which is one of the most iconic and unique cable cars in the world. And this offers a 360-degree panoramic view of the entire Swiss Alps. And to get into that, we were supposed to get down at this stop and then get on the Titlis Rotair cable car. Scanning the tickets, we were directed to this large cable car, which could carry about more than 50 passengers at a time. This what you see is the so-called Titlis Rotair, which offers a 360-degree panoramic view of the Swiss Alps while ascending up to the Mount Titlis. Without much delay, this gondola was full and it took off to the breathtaking view of snowbeds and the Swiss Alps all around. This ride was about 15 to 20 minutes time, and so here's for you a time-lapse view of the 360-degree panoramic view from the Titlis Rotair cable car. Mostly all coming here are tourists, and so we could see the excitement in everyone's face to witness the snow scenery at Mount Titlis. Oh yes, this is at an elevation of 10,000 feet above sea level. Unlike the two other stops during the tour, which was very cold and less bright, here at the summit we could see the rays of the sun, though it was snow and snow all around. We could see everyone excited to witness the snow scenery at Mount Titlis. And here's for you a whole world of snow. This is a terrace offering a panoramic view of the snow-covered Mount Titlis. This is the way to the ice flyer and the cliff walk, and many could be seen going ahead for that. Even though these activities were also covered in our tickets, but the extreme cold held us back from going in the ice flyer. But now when I look back, I think I missed a chance. So for those of you out there, take a risk, enjoy the cold, and do enjoy going in the ice flyer. You see, snow is all around, and due to the rain, it's very slippery now. Initially, we also thought to go to the famous cliff walk here, but unfortunately, after walking for few steps, we had to abandon it. Firstly, because the floor was very slippery, and again, after looking around and seeing snow white everywhere, I lost courage to walk ahead. So, abandoning the cliff walk, we enjoyed the view from the terrace. The bright light from the sun was very evident here, and that added to the white snow, and that was a different feel altogether. It was real fun playing in the real snow and making snowballs, but couldn't carry out for a long time, and it was too cold and biting cold. And I remember walking back indoors few many times to warm up and then come back and play in the snow. Children and adults all enjoying the same. So this was how it was all around here at the summit of Mount Titlis. And to a surprise, we could also witness a snow rain right in front of us, and that too was a lovely moment to cherish for a long time. After taking a lot of pictures and videos, we then walked in to proceed with the tour. Moving inside, another highlight of Mount Titlis is the Glacier Cave. This was something like walking inside a narrow but a well-lit passage. Here the way along was too slippery, and so the rocks on the sides were to be used as walking aid. This was something a 5-minute walk, and then coming out of the glacier cave, here are some highlights of the details of this glacier cave. Now, this was the level 5 of the summit here, and coming to the other side, we could see many branded shops and stores. Also, there was a resting place where we could rest and have refreshment. After a while, we left to the levels 2 and 3 to walk around and see the shops and restaurants there. Walked around, bought some food, and enjoyed the vibe here at this level, 10,000 meters above sea level. Amazingly, this was all here at the summit of Mount Titlis. By now, the time was around 4 past, and so we took the exit to Engelberg. That was quite a good time we spent at Mount Titlis. Last part of the tour is to descend down. From here, first we got in the Titlis Rotier and descended down. The Titlis Rotier cable car runs from the stand 2428 to the summit of Titlis and back down. Reaching the intermediate stop at stand 2428, we changed from the Rotier cable car and had to hop in the normal cable car to descend down further. And then we started to descend down first to the stop at Trupsee. See, you can also get down here and enjoy the snow again. But since we already had spent time here and had further plans for the day, we thought to continue the same cable car to the Engelberg Valley. The total travel time from stand 2428 to the Engelberg stop was around 30 minutes. So if you want to take a break, you can get down at Trupsee and enjoy the snow and then get into another cable car and travel along. Surprisingly, I found a small opening in this gondola, and it's through this I took the visuals, which you now gonna see. You can see, as it is not raining now, the view is much better and worth watching every second of it. Coming down, we witnessed the changing landscapes from snow-capped mountains to green meadows to large pine trees, and lastly to the valley with pasture lands and buildings at Engelberg. Bid farewell to the snow mountains and happily descended down. Of course, we really love the whole part of the tour to Mount Titlis, and that will be cherished in our memories for long. And now, as I edit this video, I feel it's really worth visiting the place, at least once in a lifetime. I know this video is gonna be very long, but this is a document which I'm creating of all the memories and the good times we had during our trip to Switzerland. And I hope some part of it will be useful for you and informative as well. Hopping out of the cable car, we took the exit and came to this souvenir shop. Engelberg, as such, is not much populated except for the tourists and visitors who keep coming and going. But this village at the base of the mountains is all surrounded with several mountain summits and is a must visit place if you're traveling to Switzerland. And of course, Mount Titlis is one of the most sought tourist destinations this side. Now, the time was almost 4:45, so we stepped in the car and left the premises of the base of Mount Titlis. And yes, there is also a railway station in Engelberg known as the Engelberg Valley Station or the Titlis Bahnhof with trains to and from Engelberg to Lucerne, Zurich, and even other places. So you see, it's very convenient for tourists to come to Engelberg or to visit any of these mountain tops either from Lucerne or from Zurich or from anywhere in Switzerland. Driving ahead, we could see the fog descend down after the rain, and the nature looked altogether very different. We were in fact actually happy that we chose to self drive and travel in Switzerland. If you love driving, it's going to be very easy and saves a lot of time. Now, if you're holding with us from the beginning, I'm very grateful and happy that you are listening to our stories and being part with us. Our next plan for the day was to drive to Lucerne and take a walk around the old town and the new town of Lucerne. If you enjoyed watching with us, why not join with us on this drive and have a look? On our way back, we stopped at a place where we saw a beautiful waterfall very far away. First, we had a thought to drive to the waterfalls, but then we found that it was quite far, and since we were not very sure about the timings and the weather, and also didn't want to miss the other plans for the day, so we thought to walk around, take some pictures and videos, and cherish the view of the waterfalls right from here. Though it was very far away, it was so beautiful. This is in fact a very famous waterfalls, but I'm not very sure about its name. So if any one of you watching out there know about it or have been to this place, then please do comment below the name of this waterfalls. As I know, this is also a popular tourist place in this region. This was a railway cross, and then there came a beautiful Swiss train passing by. This short break was really lovely, and walking in the nature was too cool. The air here was so pure, and the scenery was serene. Do take a quick look at this wonder, and then let's proceed. After some time, we said bye to the waterfalls from here and continued our journey through the beautiful roads of Switzerland. Switzerland is in fact a country which is worth visiting each and every corner of it. But since we had previously made plans to visit and tour some selective and attractive places and want to catch up in all the directions of the country, and so Engelberg and Lucerne was for this day. Engelberg is also a popular destination for tourists and visitors. Along the way, we could also see a lot other tourist spots with gondola rides, trekking, mountain hikes, and even riverbeds. As it is very close to the Alpine mountains, this region is mostly cold. Of course, the summers and spring are said to be the best time to visit these places, as far as the climate and the availability of more outdoor activities are concerned. The nature was now at its best, and there was no rain and the sun was moving down. But yes, the evening was full lit with daylight, and that was a fun drive along the countryside. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide. Typically, the travel time from Engelberg to Lucerne is said to be about 45 minutes to 1 hour by roadways. But since we were very slow and took breaks in between, it took us about 1.5 hours to reach the city side of Lucerne. Now, for those of you here for the first time and watching us, we as couples have come all the way from the Sultanate of Oman. Our first destination in Europe was France, and we had spent almost 7 days in Paris. We also had a travel to the Lodis in France. If you loved watching our videos and being part of our trip, then I'm sure you will also love to watch our trip in Paris. As I loved creating memories and making this video, I have done a whole playlist of France, and there's a link in the description below. If you loved being part of our video, and if you really loved watching us, and if it was of some help to you, then do check out our France days as well. Another place on our list for today was a visit to a chocolate factory called Chocowild, which was on the way to Lucerne. Being in Switzerland, we wanted to make maximum use of visiting chocolate factories and experiencing them. The Chocowild is also a place of tour by tourists and visitors, and there are few tour packages as well, just like the one which we did in Zurich in the Lind Home of Chocolate the previous day. But unfortunately, the tour timings were from 10 to 5 pm, with the last admission at 4:30. Though we missed the tour inside the factory, we just went around the store and saw a lot of cute and creative chocolates set for sale. Bought few chocolates just to experience the flavor and started our drive towards the city. So take a look at how the drive in Switzerland was all like. Lucerne is a beautiful city located in the heart of Switzerland and is said to be the most populous here. This city is set on the shores of Lake Lucerne. As you may be knowing, the main attraction here is the Chapel Bridge and is an iconic symbol of Lucerne. This city is actually packed with buildings and monuments of old, and there's a lot to see in here. As we entered the city roads, we could see the Switzerland buses and trams. The city looked really beautiful and was quite active with traffic and tourists. Our first idea was to park the car at a safe place and then make a walking tour in the city of Lucerne. And yes, of course, finding a parking place here was not so easy, and we had to drive few times along the same roads in search of a parking garage. That what you see is a railway station here, and just across the road is the Reuss River, and that runs in the center of the city, adding a majestic feel to the whole place. Also, this river is one of the main rivers of this region, which originates from the Lake Lucerne and runs northward to the Rhine River, and as you know, where the famous Rhine Falls is located. And at the other end from here, we caught sight of the Chapel Bridge, and that was to where we were walking. Walking on the bridge across the Reuss River was very lively, with people, mostly the tourists, from various parts of the world. This was altogether a picturesque look with age-old architecture and the river with the sun moving towards the horizon. Coming to the other side of the Reuss Bridge is a large shopping street with a lot of branded shops and showrooms, and was quite lively and busy with people. So this is how the streets look like here in this part of Lucerne. They are very clean, well maintained, and of course a hub of many branded stores. And for those of you who are looking forward for shoppings, this is of course a good place indeed. And then after a walk around, we then thought to have some food. Spending some time there refreshing and relaxing, we then started with the walking tour. So take a look and see how the surroundings here looked like. Coming to this riverbank, we could see plenty of swans in the water. Lots of people were stopping by to watch them. They were feeding, swimming, and enjoying the nature. These white swans are very lovely to watch. Can you see at the far end the snow mountains? What do you feel? This, I think, is the nature at its best. This park in the center of the city is a very nice place, quite clean, and of course, there are some benches as well for you to sit and relax. And also, we could see a lot of people walking and exercising as well. Walking along the riverbank, we also could see some boats and yachts, and I think these are used for tour in this river. There are mentions of some tour packages as well, but maybe I think it has some timing. So if you're interested, then do check that out and plan ahead, or you may miss the fun just like us. Back in the track, we walked straight towards the Schaffel Bridge. We could also see many tourists like us walking to the Schaffel Bridge. Now, this Schaffel Bridge is the same which we have come across in the history books, and it is an iconic landmark of Lucerne and, of course, Switzerland since the 14th century. This is a traditional wooden bridge and is probably the oldest wooden bridge in Europe. This bridge connects the old town of Lucerne with the newer districts across the Roses River. It is said to have been built in 1365 and is now over 650 years old. It is open all the time, and of course, it is free for the pedestrians. And that was a proud feeling to be standing here on this age old bridge, which is in fact a symbol of the city's pride. You can see it's completely a wooden structure and is about 204 meters across the river. It is very famous among tourists and visitors, and mostly everyone traveling to Switzerland will not miss this place. And a picture with the background of the river and the bridge is a must. So we took a walk from one end of the bridge to the other end over this Roses River. Now here what you see are some of the views of the city shot standing on this historic bridge. So take a glance at the view of this whole bridge from this side. It was time to drive back to our apartment in Walhosen, and I think it was from here around 30 to 40 minutes ride. Today was a good long day, and literally we were a little tired, and also we had bigger plans for the next day to tour in another wonderful place in Switzerland. So, we wanted a good rest and also to start early and fresh tomorrow. On our way back, we came across the Mall of Switzerland. So immediately we took a halt and thought to have a glimpse of it. Now you see, this is a charm of driving. You can stop anywhere, anytime, as you like, and enjoy the trip at your own pace. This is the Mall of Switzerland in Lucerne. Naturally, it's huge and has lots of stores, but actually less crowded. Oh, yes, this is also one thing we noticed. In most of the places here, except for the main tourist spots, the other places are less crowded and free of traffic. Now, what do you feel? You have been with us the whole day in our trip, and I hope you might have observed that. Even the roads a little out of the city is free of traffic. Of course, that's good for people like us, but since we come from places like there's a lot of crowd in the streets and even the traffic is high, this seems noticeable and something different. We had a quick tour inside this mall and then came to this chocolate shop from where we bought some variety of chocolates. We also bought some fruits and snacks and also some cheese and thought to make a meal for the night as we have a KitchenAid in the apartment. That's it. I know it's a quite long video. This is like a document I have created to carry forward as like a memory of our travel. And I really appreciate you for joining with us till now. And I also hope that you have something to take back from us for planning your trip to Switzerland. Finally, that's how our day 2 in Switzerland was like. And once again, thank you for being with us. And wanna see you again in our next day's vlog when we're gonna visit and tour the Grindelwald. That's all from me. Thank you for connecting with us and stay tuned for our coming videos.